All aboard! Hello and welcome to this edition of Shaky Hands Shed, where we'll be unwrapping an eBay package, and also I'll be restoring the airfix Great Western Railway 14XX, and it's a particularly bad one. There's quite a bit of corrosion on it. And here, first off, I'm opening a package. This isn't the main event. This one is body. I got it to use bits off it for another loco, i.e. the Franken loco a couple of things ago. I've got the body that'll be used again. I'll get bits for it off someone else again. And here's the next one. This isn't the main event, this is one that'll be coming up. This one's the Lima warship. So for diesel fans, that'll be coming up. I intend doing diesels occasionally. I've got a few on the burners in the lineup. Anyway, this is the main event. There's 3 locos in the package. I got them for 40 quid. And the first one, I actually thought, looking at it, I thought it was a mainline one, but it isn't. I thought it were a Bachmann tank, but it isn't. It's actually a kit-built loco. And the next one is an LMS 3F, and this is the one I really bought it for. It's the airfix 14XX, and here we're testing them for if they're running or not. And the airfix 14XX here was dead as a dodo, and as we can see, the Armby 3F is an Armby 3F it went, and the kit loco, no way hose there. And the warship's typical Lima. Oh, it doesn't go off the wheels there. As I remember rightly, it actually goes from the motor. Anyway, a bit further of a look at it. This one's a kit-built tank. I did think it was a Bachmann one because it's the same number and livery as the Bachmann version, but it was a kit-built loco, so I'll not be doing anything with this. I may build it onto a base and have it as a scrapped loco, because there's a couple of bits missing. Like anything, I could, if I wanted to, repair it and get it up and running with some Romford wheels and make a replacement connecting rod that's missing there and put a new motor in, remotor it. But is it really worth it when Bachmann do a really nice version of the same thing? It had been built before the kit was available. But the mystery is, why is it the exact same number and the exact same livery as the Bachmann? Anyway, here we go. It didn't run by the wheels, so I'm trying it by the motor. And as usual, there we go. It's a Lima, it'll run. There we go, ticking over lovely. So that'll be a nice little restoration. I don't know who did it, but it was assembled with 4 screws. The Lima plastic pegs are broken off. Anyway, here we go. Here's the start of the 14XX resto. And as you can see, it's been stored at the bottom of a pond for 10 years. The corrosion in it is horrendous. I've stripped most of the parts out there, but you can see all the corrosion flaking off. It was horrendous. Anyway, there we go, there's the main chassis block, and you can see the chassis plate in the background. Both full of corrosion. There you have chassis plate. It's full of oxidisation. The wheels are full of rust and oxidisation as well. And here I'm trying the motor, see if it'll run. I'm giving it a couple of dabs of oil and a quick turn, see if it'll go. And there we are, we have a working motor at least. So the probability of it being saved has just gone up. And there we go, running lovely. And here we go, a warm bath with washing up liquid in it. And I'm giving the body a quick scrub off. Get all the muck and grime off it. And here we are, what I'm doing the wheels and the base plate. I'm not actually chucking the motor in, but I'm giving these a good wash off. Wash all the dust and oxidisation and grime off them. No to lose really by putting them in washing up liquid and water, the amount of corrosion that's on them. There we go, the base is still left in to be done last. Go over that copper plate. And here I'm going over with my Dremel with wire wheel. Going over the main chassis block. Getting rid of all the dusty corrosion. And at this point, what I'm doing, I'm going over the main chassis block with gun blue. It's a coating for guns to keep the elements out. I'm doing it on all the chassis pieces, giving it a liberal coating. It's not actually made the coppery colours blue, but I'm not worried, that weren't the real intention, it was just to get a good covering there. Something to resist the elements in it. And here we're starting to put the chassis back together and test it's all working sweet. And what I'm doing here, making nameplates. I bought some nameplates and they've been cut out. And there we are, makes a nice difference. And at this point, I've actually bought a new chassis off the internet. It cost me £9. And I still used my original one I had started with. But all I really used it for was one plunger for the contacts. And there it goes, going in. I was one plunger short than it was actually in it, but the corrosion had made it useless. It wasn't working, which was surprising. You'd have thought they'd all been corroded. But here we go, back together in one piece more or less. all the chassis unit, and the amount of time this took to get running proper, it was unreal. When I watched Double O Bill's video, and he's not joking when he says the amount of possibilities for it shorting are endless. And actually the amount of possibilities for it not getting contact are endless as well. Because he does, let's just say, the way he picks up electricity and using it is novel, as many of the Chinese ones are. And there we go. A look at the chassis there, and that spring in the middle. Double O Bill has it spot on when he says it's better to put a bit of tubing over that for insulation. Cut it just a little bit longer than the chassis where it comes out at the bottom. And anyway, here we are, and that stops it shorting. And here we are, I'm just giving it a quick run up against the blocks, and here we run it with the train. It's actually a beautiful runner. It runs sweet. It could probably do with traction tyres, but I'm not running it on huge trains or anything. And there we go, through the points the other way. And it'll be coming back any second. Oh, did I? Should be. God, this is like waiting for a train in itself. Come on! Oh, that's why I'm running it slowly, or a bit faster. There you are, beautiful and slow through the points. Anyway, here's where we finished up. Very pretty loco. I've used bits off the body from my Dona loco. Some of the piping was missing underneath, and I've used the better conditioned handrail at the front. The other one was rusty, and that one was still very shiny steel. I've also sprayed it in some Vallejo premium varnish, and it's actually, I think it was a satin I used. Anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as usual, tatty pie everyone, tatty pie.